It's late November. A rising wind. Everything just waiting for the monsoon. Downriver in Bangkok Harbor stands a freighter, getting ready to ship a cargo you can't load at any port. That cargo is a man with a lot of past, and right now, very little future. Let me introduce myself. Worthington's my name, or Stanton, or Green. Take your pick, I've used them all. 20 years in exile here, it's a long time. You can't help it, the memories come crowding in. Fragments half remembered, long-lost things, broken dreams. They take me back into a past I tried so hard to bury. Back to a time when I was Captain Harold Stanton, son of General Angus Stanton, the Lion of Dunkirk. I was 20 years old when war broke out. Nothing I'd ever learned on the playing fields of Eton could have prepared me for what I found. 3 years as a prisoner of the Japanese. But I can't tell you what happened in that camp, not yet. It's enough to say that honor and courage were in short supply. But that was the war, or part of it anyway. My father led his men to glory. I found fear and disgrace. When it was over, I went home to England, to a court-martial.
The court finds you, Captain Harold Stanton, guilty and sentences you to be cashiered. March out, the accused.
There was nothing left in England, not for me anyway. Couldn't wait to leave the place. I suppose you'd call it running away. Running away. Except, of course, you take yourself with you, don't you? Like a shadow. Only the scenery changes. Egypt first, then Rhodesia, Aden for a while. Suddenly I found myself middle-aged in Australia, working for some big, anonymous law firm. It suited me fine. It was one of those places where you charge like a lawyer and work like a clerk. Another country, another identity. I just read Our Man in Havana. As a name, Graham Greene seemed common enough.
Graham, can I see you a minute? I've got a few clients I'd like to give you. Well, the Grazers from Broken.
I didn't realize, of course, but the people I was about to meet were going to change things forever.
Graham, I'd like you to meet Sir Richard and Lady Faulkner and their daughter, Miss Catherine Faulkner. Mr. Graham Greene. Our Graham Greene, of course, not anyone else's.
It was a joke he told whenever he got the chance. He didn't find it half as funny as I did.
Any trouble, not with the title search. He read law at Cambridge. You must excuse me.
Well, now, Sir Richard, how can I help?
We own a property, a very large property. You may have heard of it, Guardbridge.
Guardbridge? Oh, yes.
Anyway, in recent times, we've managed to acquire 4 of the adjoining properties. There is, however, a 5th property. Are you following me, Mr. Greene?
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed.
For many years, we've been under the impression that it was owned by a consortium. But now we have reason to believe that there may have been some change. So what we'd like you to do is make a thorough investigation and find out exactly what the situation is so that we can make them an offer.
I see. Yes. Tell you why.
Fools give you reasons.
Wise men Joyful and triumphant, O come ye to Bethlehem.
One spade.
2 hearts.
Pass.
3 hearts.
Pass.
4 hearts.
Pass.
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 Father, you're the dummy again. Father normally has to play the dummy.
Hard to find a good dummy.
We're lucky, Richard's very good at it.
I can see that. Oh, dear.
My father always had the lights doused at 10. When we put the power on, we saw no reason to change. You probably find our ways a little strange.
Oh, not at all.
But that's one of the things I can't abide about the world today. Change for the sake of change. Anything of value just thrown away.
Mother?
Be quiet, Catherine. You've asked Mr. Green here to meet us. There's no point in wasting his time. We're very lucky, though. We have Guardbridge. In a way, it's a world unto itself. An older world, Mr. Green. A better world.
Indeed.
Good night.
Good night.
Night, Father.
Good night.
Night.
Night, Catherine.
I'll show Mr. Green to his room.
It's all right, Mrs. Cameron. I can do it.
Come on, I want to show you something.
We've only got a minute. The lights go out at 4:15.
All right. Open it.
That's cheating. It's not Christmas.
Go on, quickly.
No, I'll open it tomorrow.
I'm warning you. Don't open it in public.
You're just teasing.
All right. If you say so.
You're not, are you?
It's French, it's silk. And I've no idea if it fits. did. It was really very... Well, when did this come?
Yesterday.
Oh.
Mr. Green, Mr. McNair wants to see you.
One of the girls recognized your photograph. Graham Green. That was cheeky. I suppose you got quite a laugh out of my little jokes.
Sorry I lied to you.
The law degree from Cambridge? That was a lie too, I suppose.
Well, the piece of paper I presented to you in Graham Green's name, yes, that was a lie, but, not my qualifications. I am, in fact, a lawyer.
All the more reason why I can't condone it.
I didn't mean any harm. I wasn't trying to defraud anyone. I'm just sick of it, that's all. Understand? I didn't expect any sympathy from England, but... You know, my own father never, ever forgave me.
Not him. So it says.
Well, come back tonight if you don't mind. I'll back the rest of it up tonight. Or privately. Well, thank you. You seem to me to be a very decent man.
Good luck.
Oh, Mr. Green, telephone.
Guardbridge.
Can I speak to Miss Faulkner, please?
Who shall I say is calling?
Graham Green.
Good morning, sir. Hold the line, I'll put you through. A phone call, madam, Mr. McNair.
Hello.
Darling, it's me.
This is Catherine's mother, Mr. Stanton.
Lady Faulkner.
We're very sorry to read about your father. Sorry and surprised.
Well, obviously I must explain. That's why I'm calling.
Is
I'm
Catherine...
afraid not. She's asked me to request that you don't call again.
Well, I just want the opportunity, surely.
Mr. Stanton.
Catherine has packed up all your gifts. She'll return them by tomorrow's post.
But that won't be necessary. Let me talk to her, please.
I'm sorry, Mr. Stanton. She's made it quite clear. She says she's been deceived.
She doesn't wish to speak to you again. Not today, not ever.
Lady Faulkner, I need your help.
Please.
Goodbye, Mr. Stanton.
Just a minute. Catherine, I'd like to speak with you. Catherine? What did Mr. McNair want?
To apologize. He was very embarrassed about employing him. As he said, he had no idea.
So what's happened?
The man's gone, of course.
Gone? Where?
Why should we care? He's gone. That's all that matters.
I do, Mother. I care.
For heaven's sake, Catherine, the man's a fraud. He's probably on a plane already.
No. I think he would have called.
Not if he had any shame, he wouldn't. Read it again if you don't believe me. He sacrificed his own men. He was court-martialed. No wonder he had to lie about his name. He knows what else he has to hide. Read it! Yes, I know. He had the manners and he had the accent. But that was window dressing, wasn't it?
Say what you like. I know he cared about me.
Cared about you? Just ask yourself this, Catherine. Why should a man like that care about you? Do you call a few flowers and a couple of presents caring? I don't. I'd call it an investment, and this would have been the dividend. Guardbridge.
It wasn't like that.
Of course it wasn't. Don't you see? That's the very heart of the deception. The girl should never suspect, not even for a moment. Of course, I must take part of the blame, but I did try to warn you.
Oh, yes. Yes, you warned me. Every time anyone showed the slightest interest in me, you warned me.
All I've ever done is try to protect you. If you had listened to me, you wouldn't have made such a fool of yourself. People are laughing at you, Catherine. All our friends, they're laughing at you. Anyway, there's only one thing to do, isn't there? We'll put it behind us, won't we? Say it, Catherine, won't we? I want you to put together everything he ever gave you. I want the flowers you pressed, the cards he sent you, the Christmas present, that sketch, everything. Understand? And Catherine, I won't mention this again, but I also want the other gift. Don't look at me like that, child. The gift Mrs. Cameron saw him give you. The secret one. I'll phone as soon as we get there. Yes, madam, of course.
Good morning, Mr. Stanton. I'm afraid Miss Faulkner is not at home. Please come in.
Catherine! Catherine!
Miss Faulkner asked me to send you this. As you hear, it will save me the postage.
Where is she?
I'm sorry, Mr. Stanton. I must ask you to leave. Now.
I was hoping you could help me.
Certainly.
I need to contact...
Mr. Green, Mr. Stanton, whatever. I thought you might have an address, somewhere to send his mail, perhaps?
Well, just hold on a minute.
Yes, I see. Thank you.
My pleasure.
It's ironic, isn't it, Doctor? I was brought here to forget. Now you tell me that I'm going to be reminded of it for the rest of my life.
What about the father? Could you marry him?
Possibly. If I could find him. We were very happy. He walked out on me, Doctor. I haven't heard a word. He might as well be dead. Come to that. So might I.
I'm worried about her. She's very depressed.
Is that surprising? I should have thought it was a natural consequence of shame.
What I'm saying is, if no one wants this child, I could arrange for it to be dealt with.
She's offended against God once. I won't have it done twice.
Do you think that's fair?
Of course I do. Let her have the child. And every day can stand as a testament to her foolishness.
What a chicken.
Beauty, isn't he, eh? Well, what do you...
Daddy, look at that girl.
What do you think of this little fella? You want a penny?
Daddy, Dad, why is he running away? Where's my daddy?
Beg your pardon, child?
Please, may I ask a question?
That's better.
Where's my daddy?
I'm not really sure. Perhaps you'd better ask your mother.
Your father's dead, Katrina. He died before you were born.
Is he coming back?
I shouldn't think so.
No, he isn't. Who put this into your head?
What was he called?
Graham.
Hal, I think.
It was Graham. Grandma's just making a joke.
Yes, I'm just making a joke.
It's not a very funny joke.
There. Morning, sir.
Oh, looking great.
Ah, thank you.
And your mother has asked for you. She's in the sitting room.
I'd like to introduce my daughter, Katrina. This is Mr. McNair.
Katrina?
Hello. Sit down, dear. Perhaps Mr. McNair would like some more tea.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
What have you been doing up there?
Working.
What sort of work do you do?
I build things.
20 years old, and what do you think she builds?
I build dolls' houses.
Look at Mr. McNair when you speak to him. Not just houses, though. They're mansions, complete with little people. Mother and father, brothers and sisters. A proper family.
I'd like to see one.
No, Mother's right. It's silly. It's just a hobby.
Well, not everyone thinks so. Queen Mary collected them. Beautiful things. There's one on display at Windsor Castle, I believe. Historians say it's a priceless record of the period. Now, who would have thought that? A doll's house. Still, that's often the way, isn't it? The most underrated things turn out to be the most valuable.
I don't know what historians would make of these. There's even one of Guardbridge, except it doesn't have any windows. What sort of house doesn't have windows?
Oh, no. You like reading?
Answer, Mr. McNair.
Yes.
What sort of things?
Different things. History, novels.
Tell Mr. McNair what you like most.
Romances, Mr. McNair. My mother means romances. Mills and Boone, that sort of thing. I'm sorry. If you'll excuse me.
She suffers from asthma. I'm afraid few people realize how debilitating it can be, not just physically. You must forgive her. It's very difficult for her.
They've come round to thinking that asthma's a nervous thing. Is that what they've told you?
I don't have much faith in doctors. I never have. She was always sickly, even as a child. That's why I kept her here. This has been her school, her home, her whole world. She knows almost nothing of life outside of here.
Don't underestimate her. I think you'd be surprised how fast she could adapt.
Well, God willing, she won't have to. There's no reason for her to ever leave Guardbridge. We're still a wealthy family.
Yeah, but is that the life you want for her?
Of course. It's a better life, a safer one. In the end, a much happier one.
I'm sorry, I can't agree.
You don't have to. I'm her mother. Her welfare is my concern.
And I'm just a lawyer.
No. Oh, no, of course not, Mr. McNair. You're the family lawyer. That's why I've asked you here. I need to appoint a guardian, a trustee, someone to administer her affairs.
Surely you do that.
Yes. But I'm talking about the future.
There's no harm in planning. That's the advice we lawyers always give.
I also need to make a will.
I'm sorry, is it...
Cancer, yes.
Does she know?
No, no. Nor should she, not yet.
You're going to have to tell her.
I know. But, as you probably realize, my daughter and I, we don't share an easy confidence.
No.
There's one other thing. I've always done my best to protect her. She believes that her father, my husband, to her, she believes that he died. I don't see any reason to disillusion her.
Of course.
Mr. McNair would like to change for dinner. Show him to his room, please. No, I'll stay.
That's my great-grandfather's room. Sir Richard Faulkner's, Alice Faulkner, grandmother's. All of them left exactly as they were.
The sort of tradition.
That's right. That's why the rich have such big houses, Mr. McNair. After so many generations, you need something the size of Buckingham Palace just to accommodate the memories.
Yes, of course. Otherwise, they just get by with a bungalow. And this one?
That's mine.
Home of the doll's house.
Yes.
As I said, I'd like to see it.
You don't have to be polite, Mr. McNair. Not now.
You misunderstand me. I meant it. You made this?
Yes.
The furniture? That's remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. You're a very talented young woman.
What do you make of my garbage, Mr. McNair?
Well, it certainly is an interesting work.
You mean peculiar? A little bit odd?
I think you've got the makings of an artist.
You're being polite again.
Ah, paint too.
Just a bit. Grandmother always said I inherited it from my father. I don't think she approved.
Cigarette?
My mother doesn't allow it.
You always do what your mother says?
Mostly. Aren't children supposed to?
Up to a point.
Why are you here, Mr. McNair?
Family matters. Your mother thought it was time to put some things in order, that's all.
People think I'm stupid, Mr. McNair. Just because I'm awkward and I get nervous. And there are a lot of things I don't know, but I do know one thing. People don't always say what they mean. What about you, Mr. McNair? Why are you really here?
Well, you put me in a difficult position. Your mother's asked me to keep her confidence, yet I don't want to lie to you.
She's dying, isn't she? That's why you're here.
What makes you think that?
She makes some excuse. She goes to Sydney. She sees a doctor, not just any doctor, a specialist. I know this because I found the card. And then you show up. I know my mother, Mr. McNair. Is that what's happening?
Yes, your mother's dying. She has cancer.
As much as it hath pleased Almighty God of his great mercy to take unto himself the soul of our dear sister here departed, we therefore commit her body to the ground. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Mrs. Cameron!
Yes, miss.
I was looking for a picture of my father.
I beg your pardon, miss.
A picture of my father?
We don't have any, not here. When your father died, your mother removed them all because she couldn't...
Yes, I know that. That's part of Guardbridge history, the authorized version. What about the unauthorized version, the truth? Who was Graham Greene?
He's an author, isn't he, miss?
Of course. How stupid of me. Famous author comes to Guardbridge, gives my mother silk lingerie, and nobody thinks any the more of it. Who was Graham Greene, Mrs. Cameron? You know, don't you?
I only know what your mother told me.
And what was that?
That she loved your father and she lost him.
But he never died.
He did. For her.
I couldn't cry at the funeral. It wasn't in me. But I cried when I read that.
Such a waste.
One day she's in love and then nothing. She never writes another word. It's almost as if she died back then. So who was he, Mr. McNair? Who was Graham Greene?
Well, as it says, he worked here. According to the gossip, he courted your mother.
And then?
Oh, there's a scandal. Something about the war. He'd been court-martialed, I think. Anyway, he was less than he appeared. A bit of a con man, I suppose. I had to let him go. And that was that. Nobody heard any more. At least not your mother.
Was he my father?
In a court, probably not.
In this room?
Who else was there?
So that's it. Katrina Greene.
Well, not exactly. Greene wasn't his real name.
What do you mean? What was it?
If I can remember, his father was a knight or a soldier, something. Hold on.
Yes, Miss Howell here.
Oh, Miss Howell, I want you to go down to archives.
Yes?
You're looking for the employment records of about 20 years ago. The one I want is Greene. Mr. Graham Greene.
Like the author?
That's right, Miss Howell, just like the author. Suppose you find him. I take it as your plan. What then?
I don't know.
Well, I don't mean to be unkind, but he may not enjoy being found. He could look at you and say, so what?
Yes, I know. He could.
Assuming, of course, he's still alive.
That's occurred to me, too, but what else can I do? I mean, at the moment, I'm sort of lost.
I think I've told you this once before. You're a very talented young woman. Thanks.
Is that the one,
Yes,
Mr. McNair?
Yes, that's it. Nothing. Of course, silly old man. Stanton. Hal Stanton. His father was a general, the Lion of Dunkirk. Stanton. 3 sons, Edward deceased, James and Harold. Harold for short. 80 Essex Square, Belgravia. Well, there it is. Or the family, at least. I'm sure they can tell you, is he still alive? Maybe even where he is. That's if you're sure you really want to know.
What would you do?
Well, if I was young again, and I had the whole of my life ahead of me, and I was quite wealthy, I'd go to London tomorrow. And if it didn't work out, I wouldn't give a damn. I'd go to the Victoria and Albert Museum, and I'd look into dolls' houses.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Going blind, not deaf.
Good morning. Stanton residence.
Mr. James Stanton, please.
Whom shall I say is calling?
He doesn't know me. My name is Katrina. I'm his niece.
I'm sorry. You have a wrong number. Mr. Stanton does not have a niece.
Mr. James Stanton has a brother, Harold Stanton.
Yes.
Harold Stanton is my father.
Hold the line, madam.
Good morning. Miss Stanton, is it?
Yes.
I think perhaps we should meet. You have the address?
Yes, I do.
Shall we say at 4, then?
At 4. Everything seems to indicate he's my father.
It looks that way, doesn't it? You say they're never married?
No.
Since nobody much marries anymore. I have a daughter of my own. She lives with a chap. I don't like it, but what can you do?
Nothing, I suppose. So where? Where is he, Mr. Stanton?
We grew up together, Hal and I, in this house. He was my elder brother. I loved him dearly. But if he were to knock on that door now, I'd turn him away without a moment's pause. That's not idle talk. Many years ago, I did just that.
I don't know what happened then, but as you say, it was many years ago.
Some things never fade. He broke the old man's heart. Our father was a soldier. But more than that, he believed the rank brought with it not only privilege, but responsibility. In his eyes, Hal was a coward.
And in yours?
In mine, long ago, he ceased to be a member of this family. That is why I could turn him away as you would a stranger.
I don't understand all that. All I know is I want to meet him. Which one is he? Which one's my father?
He's gone, young lady. Hal Stanton no longer exists. No one by that name ever lived in this house.
I've come all this way and you're not going to tell me where he is.
If you'll excuse me, there's nothing to be gained by this. I'll have Fleming show you out.
You've been with the family a long time.
Yes.
You knew my father.
I knew Mr. Hal.
I came to see Mr. Stanton because I needed some help.
I know what you want, miss.
Where is he, Mr. Fleming?
I don't know. And if I did, I couldn't tell you. This house has been my home.
I understand, but I do think I have some right to know.
Whatever you may think, miss, no one will thank you for dragging this up. Not me, not Mr. James. Least of all the man you claim as your father.
I didn't come here to drag anything up. I came here because it's the only place I could start, that's all.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he told you it's none of your business, didn't he?
Yes.
So, there's an end of it.
I'll leave you my address in Australia. You never know. Something might turn up. Or better still, somebody might change their mind.
When do you leave, miss?
As soon as possible. I've only got one more thing I have to do.
And what is that?
See a doll's house.
Good afternoon. How can I help?
I'd like to change my booking, please.
To when?
Tomorrow, if possible.
Not at Easter, I'm afraid. The flights are all full. The next time I can do is the 29th of March.
8 days? Okay.
I've changed your booking to the 29th and waitlisted you for anything earlier. Please keep checking. You might be lucky.
I think maybe she is. I'm canceling London to Sydney, 2 days' time. I couldn't help overhearing. I hope you don't mind. Their own economy. It's okay?
No, I don't mind.
I wonder if between us we can help this young lady.
We don't usually operate that way, but there is a system, and the cancellations usually go to people on the top of the list.
Systems. The trouble with systems is they're so unyielding. I bet this one doesn't even know it's Easter. Come on, Gail. Make her holiday.
If you promise not to tell a soul, it's my job.
Oh. I'm Arkie Ragan.
Katrina Stanton.
Katrina? It's nice. So where are you staying?
The Haygate.
I know it. I had a drink there once. I'm still paying it off. Can I walk you?
You don't have to do this. You've done enough.
It's no trouble. I'd like to, really. You seem very quiet.
It's just me, I think.
Nothing wrong.
No. I'm just not very good at this. I'm not used to it.
It's okay.
Excuse me. I get asthma. It's silly. I'm sorry. It's embarrassing.
No, don't say that. And don't even think it. I know it's hard, I know it's frightening, but you mustn't let guilt come into it. You don't have to get embarrassed for my sake. Look, see that? Needle marks. Diabetes, twice a day. I'm damned if I'm gonna let it embarrass me. So let's have no more excuses, okay? Okay?
Okay.
So how long you been here?
2 days.
You're leaving already. Must really like it.
How about you?
Oh, I live here now. I came on a job about 5 years ago. I'm a news photographer. I usually travel the world taking those pictures that manage to spoil your breakfast. Anyway, I liked it here. It's a lot more civilized than New York.
Who do you work for?
IS bidder, freelance.
So why were you going to Australia?
Kakadu, the Kimberleys, the Rock. And then Jane, the girl I was going with, broke her leg. I don't know anyone in Australia. Don't want to spend 4 weeks alone. So at least here we can limp around together.
You must look aside. So, how did you hurt your leg? Car accident or what?
Oh, Jane's was. She did hers in Hammersmith. I got mine in Afghanistan.
Well, anyway, thank you.
As I said, no trouble.
No, not just for the ticket. For the walk. And for talking sense about this. Look, if you ever do make it to Australia, I live a long way out, but it's a big house.
Guard bridge.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hi, it's me.
Where are you?
I'm in a phone box around the corner on Fleet. Listen, I was just wondering if maybe you'd like to go for a drink.
A drink?
Yeah, you know, a drink.
Okay, sure. That'd be nice.
Great. Downstairs?
Yeah, I'll see you in a minute.
Okay.
Bye.
What brought you to London?
Family things. I was looking for a relative.
Thanks. No luck, huh?
No, not really. I don't think he wanted to be found.
Well, you sure you looked hard enough? I don't think anyone just disappears. Was it a close relative?
I never knew him.
What did you know about him that was certain? His name?
I know what it was. I'm not sure now.
Job?
He was a lawyer and a soldier.
Okay, which army?
British.
And that's where you start. Everybody leaves clues. So, you want to try it? Want to give this theory a shot?
I'd love to. But are you sure you've got the time?
Yeah, I got time. First thing tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Hal Stanton, Captain. Born Essex Square, commissioned April the 12th, 1939. Another pip in November. Is this the one?
What else?
Court-martialed, August 14, 1946. Dishonorable discharge. That's about it. A couple of lines and a card. Hardly does it justice, does it?
Does what justice?
It was a big thing back then.
They were in a Japanese prisoner of war camp. 8 chaps had spent a year planning an escape. The night they were going, he informed on them. The Japs beheaded the lot. He must have wished the war would never end.
What happened then, after the court-martial?
Nothing here. A lot of fellas wanted him shot, I remember that. But I suppose strings were pulled. You know how it is. They always stick together. It was in all the newspapers. August the 14th, 1946.
Who was he?
He was my father.
I guess he'll be a while then.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll call you later.
I've read all about it. My father grew up in Bangkok and then he went back there as a soldier. He's living there now, isn't he?
That's a pretty long bow to draw.
I'm asking you a question, that's all. Is he in Bangkok?
You've done the reading. You seem to know everything.
Not everything. I do know that he is not as guilty as you believe. He never denied telling the Japanese.
I know what happened in the court. I've studied the case. I know the defense backwards. If the Japanese hadn't been told, there would have been reprisals. Dozens of his men might have been killed.
Exactly. Everyone said so.
No, not everyone. Especially not the court. They rejected that defense. The rules of engagement make it clear. A soldier's duty is to escape. 8 men died trying to do their duty. Thanks to him.
He is still your brother. You can say anything you like. You can't change that.
I've told you before. Hal Stanton no longer exists.
Every time I mention his name, you get upset. Why, Mr. Stanton? Just tell me that. Why? Hello?
Miss Stanton, will you take a call from reception?
All right.
James Stanton. I'm downstairs in the foyer. Would it be possible to have a word with you, Miss Stanton?
Yes. Please, come up. Come in.
Thank you. Oh, this won't take a minute. Miss Stanton, Katrina, I've just come to tell you that you were right. In Bangkok is a firm of solicitors. The family have dealt with them for years, ever since grandfather was ambassador there. Every month, they forward an allowance to my brother. Exactly where he is, I have no idea. He may not even be in Thailand. But they are the people who can contact him. If he wants to see you, well, that's up to him. I can't do much more than that.
Thank you.
There's just one more thing. If you should ever see him, would you tell him... tell him that his brother says hello. You were right. I do think of him often. But just tell him that, will you? Well, are you leaving us already?
No, I'm just trying on a few things. I'm being taken out for dinner tonight.
Oh, you've met a young chap. Well, good for you.
don't know all that much about clothes.
Oh, my daughter knows about that. I'll get her to call you.
No, it's not important.
Nonsense. She's your cousin. I'm sure she won't mind. Her name is Sarah. Well, at least to me. Down in Bond Street, she's known as Imelda. She was born to shop.
It's such a shame you're not going to be here for the weekend. I'd have loved you to come down to Hampshire with all of us. And Clive's house is gorgeous. Actually, he's gorgeous, too. And Jeremy and Tara are brilliant. You'd love Jeremy. He's absolutely obsessed about the outback. He'd talk horses and sheep and cows with you all afternoon.
Hi.
Hi.
So tomorrow you leave? Straight through, or will you stop in Bangkok?
I'd like to, but they say that all the flights from Bangkok to Sydney are full. So, I guess I'll just go home. Right to the lawyers from there.
Easter at the Guard Bridge?
That's very good. You remember.
I won't forget. You could stay, you know.
For a while, maybe. I don't know.
Or I could go with you.
To Australia.
Yeah, I mean, I still want to see the place. I still want to photograph it.
But what would Jane say about that?
Jane's a friend of mine. We work together sometimes. She writes the articles, I take the pictures. It's a professional relationship.
The flights, though, they're all full.
To Australia and America, maybe. But I bet we could get to India.
Then what?
Pick up a connecting flight from Bombay.
Could we do that?
Sure, it might take a couple of days, but we could have Easter there. You have to see Goa. It's on the Arabian Sea, south of Bombay. I've never seen the falls of Iguazu, so I can't say for sure, but Goa may just be about the most beautiful place on earth. It's where Portugal meets India, and all the world falls in love.
Arkie?
Yo.
It's open.
Hi.
Hi.
Ready?
Yep.
Got everything? You checked?
I think so.
There's something I have to say to you.
What?
Please don't get upset.
No, just tell me.
Oh, God. Happy birthday.
It's not my birthday.
Merry Christmas.
What?
Will you please just take a look at this thing before I make a total, complete, utter fool of myself? Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
A suitcase.
You said you were interested in photography, so I thought you might like this for the trip.
You shouldn't have spent this.
Yeah, well, I thought if you wanted, maybe I could teach you, if that was okay, and yeah, I'd like to.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
want to get it all in, you're going to have to use this. Hold it.
Wow.
You should be learning how to do this.
I know.
Happy?
Yep.
Mr. Rogers, welcome.
Almost. Ragan, Arkie Ragan.
Oh, yes, of course, Ragan. Forgive me.
Okay, what have you got for me, Myrna?
Oh, you're lucky. It's just the one room left.
Only one. Damn, we needed two. You want to try somewhere else?
It's the best. Magnificent view of the beach. It's beautiful.
That's fine, thanks. We'll take it from here. God, I love it here.
Have you been here a lot?
Yeah, a few times.
Have you been here with other girls?
Sometimes. Jealous?
Yeah.
Good. So what do you want to do?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Well, we could go down the beach, take our first swim together.
Yeah, we could do that.
Or we could go for a walk.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I thought maybe we could go up to the old fort. You know, it's only 4 miles uphill. 90-degree heat.
I missed you.
You were fast asleep.
You should have woken me.
You'd have hated it. It's a hell of a climb in the dark. I'll take you up later if you like.
So how was it?
Well, good for me. I like the dawn light, so I take shots of sunrise wherever I go. One day I'll publish it, Dawn Across the World. That'll never work.
Gotcha.
Want to head back up to the hotel?
Hey, Kat? You mind if I throw in a new lens in your case? Okay, thanks.
You want this left out or not?
I'll leave it in.
Okay.
What about via Bangkok? Can we go that way?
I thought you said you were going to write.
Yeah, but Easter's almost over. We might get seats now.
Yes, Bombay to Bangkok is possible.
We don't want seats to Bangkok.
Why not? If we can go that way, it's no trouble, is it?
I hate Bangkok. Look, it'll be the middle of summer. The place has got the worst traffic in the world, air pollution like you wouldn't believe. You got asthma, Kat. It is not designed for easy breathing.
It'll only be a day or two. I don't mind taking a risk.
Is this better? Air India to Bangkok on Wednesday?
Yes.
Then a Qantas flight the following day.
Oh, great.
Okay. But can we book the baggage straight through? We might as well avoid some of the hassle if we're only going to be there for one day.
Sorry, change of airline.
It's for the lady. Thank you.
Madame? Yes. Thank you. Right, let's see. 2, 3. Good afternoon, Carlisle and Carlisle. Hello, my name's Katrina Stanton. Could I speak to Mr. Carlisle, please? Could you hold on a moment, please?
Richard Carlisle?
Hello, I'm ringing about a client of yours, Mr. Hal Stanton.
Well, I'm not sure I can help you. What is it you want?
His brother gave me your number. He said you act as his banker.
And who exactly am I talking to?
My name's Katrina Stanton. Hal Stanton is my father.
I'd rather not discuss this on the phone. Do you have my address?
Yes, I do.
I should be free in an hour if you'd like to come out there.
Okay. Goodbye.
My Alkupjai. My instructions are clear. They haven't changed in 20 years. I can't give out any information without the express permission of my client.
Yes, I know. But you can tell me if he's in Thailand.
No, I can't tell you anything. All I can do is to let him know that you called and want to see him. Beyond that, it's up to him.
But I told you I'm only here for a day.
I can get a quick answer.
So we must be close.
Not necessarily.
Afternoon, Richard.
Hello, Bob. You haven't seen Bill Worthington, have you?
Saw him last in the reading room.
Always reading, that fella?
Best read man I've ever known.
Come on. You get.
Stand up. Much, thank you. It's the heat, you know. It's not, it's the booze. Yes, you're probably right. This is important, isn't it? I can tell. Yes. The charm's just dripping off you. They've stopped the money, have they? No, the breweries are safe. Oh, they will be pleased. I had a visit today from a girl, an Australian. She's quite attractive. How nice for you. She said she was your daughter. Go on. She's using your name, I mean your real name. The mother was Faulkner, I think. Yes, Catherine Faulkner. They live at a station, whatever that is. Railway station, I suppose. Called Guard Bridge. Was it true? I don't know, possibly. How old is she? 21 next month. The age is right. How can I tell? I mean, prima facie, yes, it's possibly true. What's her name? Trina. Bloody awful name. So what do you want me to do? Do I have a legal obligation? I expect you know more about Australian law than I do. Did she say what she wanted? Just to meet you. You're right, of course. The heat has nothing whatever to do with it. The only drinking problem I have is that I can't get enough of it. You can hardly call it an unqualified success. My life, I mean.
Hal, what do I do?
You say no, say it's not true. You tell her her mother and I were just acquaintances. Well, you know the sort of thing, Richard. You know what to say.
You want me to lie?
Yes, I want you to lie. I want you to earn your money for once. I want you to act like my lawyer, not my bloody judge.
He has no children, therefore no interest in discussing it.
But didn't you tell him that I'm only going to be here for a day?
I'm sorry, my client gave me strict instructions. I can't enter into any debate about this.
Well, why didn't you tell him that...
Stanton, I'm very sorry.
That simply has to be the end of the matter. Goodbye.
Idiot.
Who, the lawyer or your father?
I mean, I don't think I'm asking too much, do you? All I want to do is meet him.
Come on, put yourself in his shoes. He hears nothing for 20 years, and then someone rings him up in Bangkok and claims to be his daughter. Wouldn't you be a little suspicious?
I should write to him.
No, don't rush it. Wait till you're in Australia. Then you can write the whole thing out. Extracts from the diaries, photocopies, pictures. Make it a real dossier.
Yeah, you're right. We should never have come here.
Forget it. We'll be on a plane in a couple of hours. No more hassles. We'll be home free. Okay.
ผู้โดยสารโปรดทราบคอนทัส 4 ปลดขึ้นเครื่องได้แล้วเช่นกันเดินให้ค้าง
Ticket and passport, please.
คอนทัส 4
สวัสดีครับ สวัสดีครับ This your luggage?
Uh-huh.
Could you please step over to X-ray machine?
Okay. I'll meet you over at the counter.
No, both of you, please. Thank you.
That's the lady's camera bag. It's got film in it.
X-ray won't hurt it.
I know, but I've heard that before. Would you mind opening it for the gentleman here?
Sure.
So the camera here has got fast film in it?
It is safe, you know?
Thanks. Thank you.
I got it.
Here?
Yeah, you try there, and I'll go over to this one.
Hi. Thank you. Are you carrying any gift or parcel on behalf of another person? No. Did you pack your bags yourself? Yes. Have you at any time left your luggage unattended? No. Smoking or non-smoking?
I'm with him, so if I could have 2 seats together in non-smoking, that'd be great.
Yes. 19A and 19B? Thank you.
Thank you. She's given us 19A and 19B in non-smoking.
Can you go down to immigration and join the next queue, and I'll see you down there in a minute.
Gate 9.
Gate 9.
Morning.
Good morning.
So you've got 19B non-smoking?
No, if it's okay, can I get a seat in smoking on the aisle?
Aren't you two traveling together?
No, we just met.
Are you carrying any parcel or gifts on behalf of another person?
No, I am not.
Did you pack your bags yourself?
Yes, I did.
Have you any time leave your luggage unattended?
No, I have not.
Excuse me, Miss Stanton. I'm with the customs police. Can you come with me, please?
Ready?
Please, come.
Just hang around.
What's the problem?
You must come, don't worry.
Arkie?
Here, let me take that. What is it?
นี่กระเป๋าของคุณใช่ไหมคุณสแตนตัน
I'm sorry.
ขอตั๋วกับพาสปอร์ตคุณให้ผมเถอะ
I'm sorry. I don't understand. What's wrong? I have a friend. He's waiting out there.
เลขบนตั๋วกับบนกระเป๋านี่เหมือนกันครับ
I'm sorry. I don't understand what you're saying. Please, I don't know what's going on here.
Neither do I, but we'll work it out, won't we? What's the story?
ถามเธอซิว่านี่กระเป๋าเธอหรือ
Maisie wants to know, is this your bag?
Yes.
Yes, it's her bag.
Who are you?
I'm a friend.
Are you with the customs?
No, I'm with the Australian Federal Police, attached to the Thai Government Narcotics Bureau.
Narcotics?
That's right, narcotics.
เริ่มเลย
Okay, let's get on with it. Open your bag, please.
I'm meant to be meeting someone. I've got a plane to catch.
You won't be meeting anybody. The only people you'll be meeting are this gentleman and myself. Now, open the bag.
Okay.
You all right?
เธอเป็นไรป่ะ
Okay, mate. Combination.
My pencil.
You'll get that when I get the combination to the bag. Combination.
It's 472.
472. 472.
This is คุณใช่ไหม
Is that your camera?
Lens.
Is that your lens?
ฟิล์มคุณใช่ไหม
Are they your films? Are they your films?
Yes. Arkie.
ตรีอุดมสุวรรณสาระขอแจ้งข้อกล่าวหา
I,
แคทรีนาสแตนตันว่าคุณได้มีและครอบครองเฮโรอีนไว้เกินกว่า 140 กรัม
Stanton with
และจาก
possession
ข้อ
of a
หาดัง
trafficked
กล่าว
amount of a prescribed
คุณมีโทษ
substance
ถึงประหารชีวิต
with over 140 grams of heroin. It is my duty to warn you that the penalty for such an offence is death. Do you understand me?
Sit down, please.
When am I going to be released?
Sit down. Do exactly as you're told. Sit down!
คุณกำลังลำบากนะคุณสแตนตันแต่จะดีขึ้นถ้าคุณให้ความร่วมมือ
What he's saying is for your own benefit, it is best that you cooperate fully. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
Okay. 2.4 kilos of heroin, little girl. It's in the big time, doesn't it? Now, this man wants to know, and I want to know. Who is your supplier?
Supplier? I don't know.
She doesn't know.
อาทิตย์ละ 2-3 วันผมนั่งอยู่ตรงนี้
What he's saying is he sits here 2 or 3 times a week with people who spend not less than $100,000 US, and they never remember who they paid it to. Don't you find that remarkable? Now, I can tell you something. He is getting pissed off, and I am getting extremely agitated.
I was with a man.
Name?
Arkie Ragan.
Write it down.
He was a photographer. He was the one who gave me the case. We were traveling together.
No, it's not true. Check it out.
It is true.
He doesn't believe you. And neither do I.
เรื่องเก่าครั้งหนึ่งนานมาแล้วมีผู้ชายท่าทางน่าไว้ใจ
The story's that old that even the Thais are asking questions about it. Like, is that your luggage? Did you package yourself? Are you carrying it for someone else? Give me a break. You answered those questions, didn't you? Didn't you?
Yes.
So let's start again.
ถามเธอสิว่าเธอซื้อจากไหน
So He's asking you, where did you buy the drugs?
I told you I was given the case. Now, I'm not saying anything else until I have somebody here.
This isn't Australia. They can hold you here for 7 days without seeing or talking to anybody.
I want somebody from the embassy, please.
They're all on the golf course. Who you're going to deal with today is this man and me. Now, he has two choices. Number one, he can charge you under Section 66 for possession. And for this amount, it's a life sentence. All right? Or he can charge you under Section 65 for trafficking. And that's a mandatory death sentence. There is no leniency. There is no remissions. There is just death. And in Thailand, death is by machine gun. I'm trying to help you, little girl.
ร่วมมือกับเราเถอะคุณสแตนตันผมต้องการความจริงแล้วในทางกลับกัน
All we want you to do is
ผมจะลดข้อหาให้คุณ
We want some information. We want you to plead guilty. And in return, we'll only charge you for possession. Now, it's in your hands, not in ours. That's it.
No, I'm not going to plead guilty.
If you think some fancy-pants lawyer's going to come up here and razzle and dazzle his way with words around the courtroom, then you're wrong. There's no jury. Just 3 judges sitting alone.
What sort of country is this? You don't have a jury?
แล้วนี่ก็เป็นกฎหมายของเราเราไม่เคยขอร้องให้พวกคุณมา
What
ที่
he's
นี่
saying is it's their country, it's their rules. They didn't ask you to come
ความ
here.
ยุ่งยากและความ
They have a
เสื่อม
saying,
โทรม
wherever Westerners go, degradation and depravity follows. And in 3.5 years that I've been here, to my utter shame, I agree with them. Now, plead guilty.
No!
Then you are a bloody fool!
Wrap it up. Don't. นี่เป็นคำให้การคุณกรุณาเซ็นชื่อ
There's a record of interview. Sign it.
I don't understand it.
If he was in Australia, would it be written in Thai? Sign it, you bloody idiot.
No.
ก็ตามใจแต่คุณจะต้องถูกค้นตัว
What's happening?
They're going to search you.
I've already been searched.
Not completely.
Up on the bed, please. Up. Lie down. Lie down.
No. No, please.
You struggle.
No.
It hurts.
No. No.
Open your legs. Hello.
Would you mind, gentlemen?
Lên app nám. Lên nói xin. Đây, em thằng lo căn. Lên nói xin. Một ba là thế nè. Đi cơ. Ê. Thấy đây. Về nào. Nói, đúng đi hả? Ơi, sao lại đặt cặp thương với này?
You! Wash!
No, I don't want to.
I run clean prison gear. Wash!
No! No, stop it!
You wash now! Drug dealers, shit! Here's some shit for you. You don't want to wash? Fine. Inside.
That Australian policeman spoke to you?
Yes.
Did he tell you what happened?
He said you've been arrested, yeah.
Did he tell you about the bag? It was a present. It was given to me by a man called...
Miss Stanton, I'm sorry, this isn't really my area.
What do you mean, your area?
Shall we sit down? We handle mainly commercial work. It's a family practice. Over the years, we've built our reputation on contracting, mainly between the Thai government and foreign companies.
But you know Thai law.
Yes, of course.
And you understand the system.
Pretty well.
So what's the problem, Mr. Carlisle?
I've told you.
No, you haven't. You've given me an excuse, that's all. Is it because it's drugs? You don't want your firm mixed up in it, is that it?
Partly. We've been approached a number of times over the years, and we've always steered clear of drug cases.
Even if the person's innocent?
The other thing is, it doesn't help anybody, not your case nor my firm, to have a white lawyer defend a white client.
Mr. Carlisle, this is probably worse than you realize. To them, it was my bag. I was carrying it. I'm going to sound like every other drug trafficker when I try to blame someone else. I need help, Mr. Carlisle. I need the best help I can get.
I'm going to refer you to several lawyers, specialists in criminal law.
You mean Thais?
Yes, top people in their field.
No. No Thais.
Well, that's ridiculous.
I know it sounds ridiculous, but I need someone who understands me, who believes in me, who'll fight for me.
Well, to fight for your client, that's a lawyer's job, any lawyer. I'll have this list drawn up.
My uncle said that Stantons had dealt with your firm for years.
Yes?
If this was any other member of the family, someone more legitimate than me, then you wouldn't hesitate, would you? You'd take it on. Wouldn't you?
Can I ask you one thing? Are you guilty?
I swear to you, I'm innocent. I didn't know anything about that bag. I trusted him.
It would be a fairly thankless task. In the end, I suspect, probably an unsuccessful one.
How long do you need to think it over?
I'll let you know as soon as we can.
Will you do one thing for me?
What's that?
Can you get access to my luggage?
If I said I was your lawyer and it was just your personal things, yes, I think so. Why?
I want to see my father.
I've already told you.
I know you don't want to discuss it with him again. But in my luggage, there's a diary. If you give it to him, maybe it will convince him.
I can't see a diary doing much good.
It belonged to my mother. Will you do that, please?
Yes, all right. If I can.
And tell him he's all I've got now.
Can't quite picture you singing Some Enchanted Evening.
Well, once upon a time, a very silly man, but a very fine woman. And it seems he broke her apart. And in the end, neither of them lived happily ever after. I'm sorry. What are we going to do?
Well, they want a guilty plea for possession. If not, they'll charge her with trafficking, for which the death sentence is mandatory.
Is she guilty?
Of course not. She's about as guilty as you or I.
I should see her, shouldn't I?
Why?
Well, because she's my daughter, that's why.
You didn't think that the other day.
I hadn't read that the other day.
You think it's wise?
Oh, I shouldn't think so. But if we were wise, we wouldn't keep going, would we?
No, I didn't mean wise for you. I meant for her. I think she's pinning a lot of her hopes on you.
And seeing me would disappoint her, is that it? Was that really necessary, Richard?
I'm just being honest, that's all.
You know, sometimes honesty can be used as an excuse for the most dreadful cruelty. I'd try and remember that if I were you.
All I'm trying to do is protect her. The function perhaps better fulfilled by her father.
There you go again, sitting in judgment. But point taken, Your Honor, point taken.
So you won't go?
Oh, I'll go. I just won't tell her I'm her father, that's all. I'll say I'm her lawyer. I'll say I was sent by my partner, Richard Carlisle.
I've already told her we don't handle criminal work.
I'll tell her we're reconsidering. You wouldn't happen to have a briefcase I could borrow, would you?
No, I wouldn't.
Worthington. Bill Worthington.
Where's Mr. Carlisle?
Well, it was Richard's idea that I should come here. He wanted me to meet you.
I thought I made it clear to him I don't want any other lawyer.
Oh, no, you don't understand. I'm here on his behalf.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize. So, do you work for Mr. Carlisle?
No, not that either, really. No, not exactly. No, you couldn't really say that I work for him. More like a partner, really.
Well, how can I help you, Mr. Worthington?
Well, I brought you some things. Tea, English breakfast. I can't stand that Chinese stuff. Vitamin pills. Soup in a cup. I don't know what that's like. The lady said it was good. Powdered milk. Fruit. Oh, yes, and a fruit cake. It's from Fortnum & Mason's. I always get them to send one out every year. And the post is always late, unfortunately.
That's very kind of you, but I don't think they're going to let me have this stuff.
Oh, well, that's all right. That's already been settled.
Will Mr. Carlisle take the case?
He's considering it.
Why? What's the problem?
Well, he's a very cautious man, a very competitive man, and he doesn't like to lose.
It's encouraging. Nor do I, especially not if it's my life at stake.
Which rather brings me to my cue, I'm afraid. Carlisle wants to know if you're still determined to plead not guilty.
Of course I am. Why wouldn't I be?
Well, you see, if you insist on pleading not guilty, they'll charge you with trafficking, and that carries the death penalty. But on the other hand, if you plead guilty, it gives the judge an excuse for clemency. I mean, it's just a way of saving their face and your life.
I don't understand, Mr. Worthington. I mean, I always thought the truth was sacred. I didn't realize it was a commodity, something that could be traded back and forth just to suit the stupidity of the law.
I'm just asking a question, that's all.
And the answer is I'm innocent. Now, you can tell Mr. Carlisle that I intend to plead not guilty, whether it's the death penalty or not.
Yes, I will. I will.
Is there anything else?
No.
Then let me ask you something. Do you have a drinking problem?
Are you always so blunt?
Only when my life's in other people's hands.
Well, I did have a drink earlier on, yes, but certainly not a problem. It's just the heat, that's all.
I hope so, Mr. Worthington.
Yes, well, I'm going to recommend that we take the case. There won't be any argument. You'll enter a plea of not guilty.
Will he agree?
Oh, I expect so. If not, I'll remind him that the truth can't be treated like a commodity. That's the expression, isn't it?
Thank you. And for the food and things. Do you know if my father's been contacted? I asked Mr. Carlisle to give him a diary.
I'll find out.
At 9:30, there's that meeting on the Circumvent Road project, so if you could have those amended contracts on my desk first thing in the morning.
She's innocent, Richard.
Yes, I told you that.
Yeah, but you never told me she was young and clever and straight as a die. God, she reminded me of my father. Uncompromising, blunt to the point of rudeness. She never gave quarter, Richard. She certainly never expected any. Look, you've got to take this on.
Oh, is that what you think I've got to?
Well, don't you think so?
Why don't you go home? I'll give you a ring.
Yes, sir. Swadika.
Sawadi. It's taken 4 generations, but my family's built something here. If I go in there and defend some white girl, then this firm starts to look like all the other colonials. White lawyers for white clients. And pretty soon the Thais are going to think we're no better than those fools down at the club.
Oh, I don't think they're
If that's not bad enough, what's this case all about? Drugs and greed, nothing more. And who are the people this firm deals with every day? I mean, they're Buddhists, for Christ's sake. I can't help but ask myself, Hal, where's the profit in this?
She's innocent. To some men, proving that would be profit enough.
Oh, to some men, but not to me, is that it? Well, that's where you're wrong, Hal, because I'll tell you what else I've been thinking. Above all, I'm a lawyer. And if I don't use the law now to defend an innocent person, then it doesn't mean anything, does it? So I think we'd better do it. We'd better defend her and damn the consequences. And if we are going to do it, you'd better pull yourself together. I think you should get down on your knees and thank her for giving a bastard like you a second chance.
Most of the time, you know, you're a complete prick. Then you say something like that and I could hug you for it.
Yes, well, not just yet, Hal. Give me a hug when we've won.
I will. Believe me, I will.
Now, remember, This isn't a trial, it's just a hearing. You're going to be formally charged, that's all.
What with?
Well, I don't know until we get in there. In either case, we'll plead not guilty. Now, everything will be in Thai, so don't panic if you don't follow what's going on.
Who's she?
This is Nut. She's a Thai barrister.
Does she work for them?
No, we hired her. She's our interpreter. She works for us. I'll plead on your behalf. Because it's a capital offence, the judge will order that you be held in prison.
Way back there?
No, they're just holding cells.
No proper prison, Klong Toy or Yard Lao or even Long Jiao.
Long Jiao, that's the worst, isn't it?
Yes, that's the worst.
Once we're inside the court, it's important not to offend the judges, so I defer to them. They're your superiors. Don't stare or point, and if you're asked to speak, try not to raise your voice. Oh, and whatever you do, don't cross your ankles.
Why?
My feet are dirty. To show the sole of your foot is considered an insult.
Stay calm.
Katrina Stanton.
Katrina Stanton คุณถูกตั้งข้อหาเป็นทางการภายใต้มาตรา 65 หมวด 12 แห่งพระราชบัญญัติยาเสพติดว่าครอบครองเฮโรอีนบริสุทธิ์จำนวน 4.2 กิโลกรัมเพื่อเจตนาจำหน่าย
As long as is the mandatory death sentence.
พิจารณาคดีความอาญา ขออำนาจศาลให้กักตัวจำเลยมีการยื่นขอประกันตัวไหม
Will there be an application for bail?
Your Honour, we would request that the prisoner be released until the commencement of the trial. We guarantee that she will not try to leave the country of Thailand.
Any objection to an
เนื่องจากความ
application
ผิด
for
ที่
bail?
จำเลยได้กระทำร้ายแรงยิ่งและเราปฏิเสธว่านักโทษ
The court
แคทเธอ
hears
รี
the
นนาสเตน
prosecution's
ตัน
objections
จะถูก
and
เคลื่อนย้ายไปยังเรือนจำนุ่มเจ้าจนกว่าจะถึงการพิจารณาคดี
What happened?
And remanded in custody, there's no date for a trial.
What was the charge?
Section 65, trafficking. Your innocence will win.
So where are they taking me?
Long Jiao.
Did you manage to contact my father?
I wouldn't pin your hopes on him. Be brave.
Get some more money. You can buy back later.
เร็ววางไว้ตรงนี้
Take off. You. Underpants. เร็ว You, Farang. Take uniform. Come with me.
แถวแถว
What
ไว้ไม่ได้เข้าไปฮะเฮ้ยเข้าไปไม่ได้เร็วๆFarrang's in here. Drug addicts smell like shit. You call Bangkok Hilton? I call Farrang Heaven.
Heaven?
Yes, child.
This is a new and wonderful day for me. There will never be another day like this one. I'm divinely guided all day long, and whatever I do will prosper.
My name's Stanton. Kat Stanton. I don't give a shit for you.
Don't worry about her. She always gets like that when I've been talking to the golden-bellied fat man. I am Astra. Divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and wraps me, and I go forth in peace. Whenever my attention wanders away from that which is good and constructive, I will immediately bring it back to the contemplating of that which is lovely and of good report. I am a spiritual and mental magnet. I think to myself all things are blessed and prosper me. I'm going to be a wonderful success in all my undertakings today. I am definitely going to be happy all day long.
You want a hit? No. Very wise. We've got a new campaign around here. Don't show you borrow.
Madame, as it says, follow the sins of others. What they have done.
Are you the courier they got over 2 kilos?
Your own sins.
I'm not a courier. I was set up.
See the zoo out there?
Yeah.
Bloody miracle, isn't it?
What?
So many innocent people in one place. That's if you believe them, of course.
What are you in here for?
Same as you. Except I admit it. Guess what I was carrying when they got me? 7 kilos. My idiot lawyer says I should claim it was for my own use. I could have fitted up a friggin' army. I was gonna have money, lady. Just gonna get myself straight. Gonna buy a house and beautiful clothes. It's gonna take me brother on one of them cruise liners. It's never gonna be treated like shit by anybody ever again. That's what I'm in here for. Just wanting what every other bastard has. Lock up time. Listen, Kat, you got $20. US, not that Australian ship.
Why?
Well, one night when it's safe for Shays Road.
Don't they lock us up? Of course they do.
That's why you're paying $20.
Sunglasses, nothing? Glasses here. You're the one that's sleeping with crazy guy. Yeah. My car. Okay, lucky girl.
Mr. Carlisle มีธุระจะพูดด้วยค่ะ
เข้ามาดิสวัสดีครับคุณอนันต์ตีเซ็นขอบคุณครับสารวัตร
I haven't come to argue to the case, Mr. Annan. I'm perfectly capable of doing that in court. I'm here because I object to the charge. And there's no justification for a charge of trafficking. I mean, the prosecution should deal with this under Section 66, possession. That clause, Section 65, is aimed at heroin producers and drug cartels. And that's why the death sentence is mandatory. I mean, the legislature never intended it to be used against a young woman who gets tricked into carrying a bag through customs.
ขอบคุณมากสำหรับเลคเชอร์คุณคลายไม่บ่อยนักนะที่เราเจอชาวต่างประเทศที่กล้าวิจารณ์กฎหมายไทย
คุณไม่น่าจะพูดความยุติธรรมกับผมนะหน้าที่ของผมมีสิทธิ์ที่จะตัดสินอะไรก็ได้คุณคิดว่ากฎหมายของเราเนี่ยด้อยไปเหรอไม่ใช่คุณคิดความยุติธรรมเราไม่มีหรือไงนี่เป็นบ้านของผมเลือกที่จะอยู่ที่นี่ไม่ใช่ที่นี่ไม่ใช่บ้านคุณและเราเป็นผู้ที่เลือกให้คุณอยู่ที่นี่และนี่เป็นกฎหมายไทยเราจะใช้ให้ดีที่สุด
Major, I admire your determination to deal with the drug trade.
Do you?
But not at the expense of my client. ที่สำคัญคือเชื่อเสียงของประเทศไทยมีความยุติธรรมและสังคมที่ดี
ไม่ที่สำคัญก็คือเธอเป็นคนผิวขาวคุณไปอยู่ที่ไหนปีที่แล้วเรายิงคนจีนไป10 คนคุณเคยกังวลเกี่ยวกับชื่อเสียงของประเทศเราไหมเป็นเพราะว่าเธอเป็นคนผิวขาวแล้วก็สวยคุณถึงได้สนใจ White woman and white lawyer
That's an insult
ดมเดี๋ยวนี่กว่าที่ผู้พันพูดเนี่ยนะเขาไม่ได้หมายถึงว่ามีเชื้อชาติศาสนานะคนผิวขาวคนเอเชียคุณก็รู้นี่กฎหมายจะให้ความยุติธรรมและเสมอภาค
และยุติธรรม
เราจะต้องพิจารณากันให้รอบคอบเมื่อถึงเวลานั้นเราพิจารณากัน
เมื่อไร
เร็วๆเนี่ยถ้ามีการตัดสินใจ
สวัสดีครับ
Goodbye Goodbye Mr. Carlisle ใช่ฮะ
How was it?
About as rude as it gets here.
What are they saying?
At the end, he'd agreed to reconsider it. He said he'll have to consult with a range of departments.
What are the chances?
To be honest, not very good. I think the government's put the word out. They're sick of drugs, sick of trafficking, and sick of corruption. Would you like a scotch?
Not right now, no. I may later. I probably will. I'll see how I feel.
Sorry, force of habit. I think they're saying that all bets are off. This is the law of Thailand, and we're going to apply it. Damn the consequences. In the face of that, it's going to be very difficult to get them to change it.
I mean, to execute a young white girl, especially by machine gun.
Well, so much the better. It's a pretty eloquent warning.
I suppose it is. So what do we do?
All that we can. Just hope that good sense prevails. Either way, though, we've got to prepare a defence, one that leaves no margin for error.
How do you feel about that? You said yourself you're a good commercial lawyer.
Well, I'm glad it's in Thailand, I'll say that. The system here suits me. It certainly wouldn't be any good in front of a jury.
Not flamboyant enough?
Well, either that or too arrogant. I'm not sure which. Give me technicalities, precedents, obscure statutes so I can hold my own with them. I'm a good forensic lawyer.
Bore them into submission.
Exactly. So even with a criminal case, I'm confident that I can take care of that side of it.
Well, what do you want me to do?
Well, if you don't object, I'd like you to do the legwork.
Act as your junior? Well, where do we start?
I've already arranged it. First thing tomorrow, you interview her.
In Lumjao?
Yes, come on, I'll drop you off. Where are you going, the club?
No, I think I'll probably go home. I've been thinking, perhaps it'd be better if you went to the jail tomorrow. There's plenty I can do here.
What do you mean?
Well, you'll probably do it better than me.
We won't get past one day if you keep lying to me, Hal. What is it?
Well, I was in that jail during the war.
What, in Lumjao?
I had a different name then, Japanese name. Never been back, not in 40 years. I don't think I could.
My father told me when I took over that you'd been a prisoner, but all he'd say was that you disgraced yourself. You want to tell me the rest?
Not really.
For God's sake, Hal, there's a girl facing execution, and you tell me you can't go into some building. You're going to have to do a lot better than that. If you don't want to go to that prison tomorrow morning, you're going to have to tell me exactly what happened. It better be good.
I used to love this place. The last thing my father ever said to me, he said I'd come back here. It was just after the court-martial. I was leaving England forever. He said I'd die in Bangkok. Do you know the basis for that rather bold prediction? No. Well, he said a dog always returns to its vomit. That's what he said. You know, when war broke out, I was a military aide at the embassy here.
Somebody in the family was ambassador, wasn't he?
My grandfather, some years before. Well, as you can guess, it certainly didn't hurt. Well, I mean, I wasn't cut out to be a soldier. I wasn't cut out to be a prisoner, for that matter, either. But that's life, as I say. In 1945, there was a lot of illness in the prison. Typhoid, cholera, malnutrition. 8 of the men decided to try to escape. Now, the Japanese had made it very clear from the start that if anyone escaped, 2 would be killed. So I told them they couldn't go. They said they were only doing their duty. I ordered them not to. They defied me. So rightly or wrongly, I was left with no choice but to go to the Japanese. They were arrested and executed the same day. There's one thing I'll never forget. How young they were. How very young. Me too, I suppose. We were all so young. I can't go back inside there, Richard. I really can't.
Well, we have a problem then.
I can still help.
Sorry, Hal. I don't think you're really committed, and I don't need a passenger.
Well, of course I'm committed. She's my daughter.
Well, then go back there, Hal. You should go back there tomorrow morning. It's up to you.